99% of the population in this world follows the same exact routine. You wake up to an alarm clock, you brush your teeth, you dread the day ahead, you grab coffee on your way to work, you sit in the chair for the next 4 hours, you take 1 hour lunch break, eating alone or with a coworker you have nothing in common with, and then you sit in the same exact chair again for the next 4 hours. You leave, you drive home, maybe you eat, maybe you don't, you watch some TV, and then you fall asleep, and then you repeat all over again. Your life has become a Truman Show, a loop, a trap. The rich in every country, whether it's from Wall Street or the royal palaces to the Silicon Valley to the dynasties of Europe and Asia, they all play the same exact game. Different languages, different cultures, but it's the same exact script. And it always ends the same way. The rich get richer, and people, the average people like you and me, we get poorer. So let's look at the numbers. In 2024 alone, billionaires added $2 trillion to their wealth. That's $5.7 billion every single day. And at the same time, nearly half of the world still struggles to survive on less than $6 a day. And here's what makes this even uglier. A century ago, the rich at least tried to polish their conscience. So, for example, Andrew Carnegie built over 2,500 libraries. He poured what today would be equivalent to billions of dollars into universities, into cultural halls, into public institutions. So I guess what I'm trying to say is that wealth back then carried at least a certain amount of responsibility. But today that spirit is gone. Philanthropy has become more of a PR, a tax write-off, a brand strategy. Instead of free libraries, the billionaires are racing to Mars. Instead of community halls, you get naming rights on stadiums. So let's talk about consumerism. This trap isn't just in your bank account. It's also in your mind. From the moment you wake up, the system is in your pocket. Your phone floods you with highlighted reels, influencers telling you what success looks like. A bigger car, a newer phone, clothes that you'll probably wear twice and then throw them out. I mean, Europe gave us fast fashion like Zara and H&M, new collections every 2 weeks. In the US, it's endless supply of iPhone upgrades that you can't afford. In Asia, it's branded handbags that cost more than your wages. And the sad part is that none of this lasts. Not the clothes, not the gadgets, and not even the feeling. Because that is the intent. Planned obsolescence. Your phone breaks after every 2 years. It's by strategy. The trend cycle flips every season, not by chance, but also by design. Treat yourself has become like this new slogan, but treating yourself is just another code for keeping you in this trap. And here is the irony. Even when you're broke, you're still wired to keep spending your money. You're spending money that you don't have. Some people might call it stupidity, but I don't think it's stupidity. I think it's survival mixed in with manipulation. It's a treadmill dressed as a lifestyle. And the faster you run, the poorer you become. It doesn't matter where you live, this has become a universal issue. In America, it's credit cards and student loans. In Africa, it's microloans. So microloans were designed to empower the poor and foster economic development, but they also create control and influence within villages and communities. So people that receive microloans are typically women, and when they can't repay them, guess who becomes in control? It's the men. And in some cases, these so-called microloans can exceed 30% interest. This topic alone deserves its own video. And in Latin America, it's payday lenders with interest rates so high that they bleed the people dry. In Sweden, for example, an average mortgage stretches 140 years. And across Eurozone, millions of people who locked into cheap fixed rates a decade ago are now facing brutal renewals. Higher payments, higher costs, higher stress. Different currencies, different cultures, but the same exact prison. Coming back to here in the USA, I mean, if you think about a student who's graduated already has $80,000 in debt, watching interest pile up faster than their paycheck coming in. The rich on the other side of the equation are collecting interest, earning dividends, watching their wealth grow off of your struggles. Debt is not a burden, it's a profit model. This, I think, is very important to know, that if you view debt as burden, you will never see the clear picture. You will not be able to escape it. It's a profit model, because in the trap, your struggle isn't a flaw. This is the actual system. It was built this way. It's a feature that makes it all work together. You've saved away, you've paid off all your debt. The trap still has one more trick. It's called inflation. It doesn't hit the rich, it hits you. Because the rich, they don't hold any cash, they hold assets. Real estate, stocks, businesses, things that rise when prices rise. So when inflation eats away on the value of your paycheck, their wealth actually grows. You hold savings, you hold wages, you hold cash. And every year, it buys less. An average family watches prices of groceries go up in inflation. In recent years, the grocery prices have doubled, but your paycheck has not. The rich own the board game, and when numbers go up, so does their fortune. And when the numbers go down, the loss falls on you and on me. So when markets crash, it's everyday people that feel the pain first. The 401k shrinks, there's job losses, the rent doesn't stop, the bills don't pause. The rich, on the other hand, they've got cushion, they've got bailouts, they have access to their assets. And on top of everything, they now have access to assets that they can buy cheap. So when the prices rise, guess who's paying more? You're paying more at the grocery store, at the gas station, just to survive. Meanwhile, their wealth grows during inflation because the assets that they already own, stocks, real estate, companies, they inflate in value. So yes, when the game turns, the loss doesn't fall evenly. It falls on you. It falls on the worker. It falls on the renter. It falls on the family just trying to get by. And the sad part is that most people never catch up. Half of the world owns almost nothing, while a tiny slice at the very top owns nearly everything. And this is why inflation hurts your chances. It doesn't just eat your money, it eats your chance to get ahead. So inflation isn't just by accident, it's another gear in the machine. And the machine was never built for you. The cruelest part is not the debt. It's not the inflation. It's the prison inside your head. It's that small whisper in your head that you'll never have enough. So most people usually always think, well, spend now, stress later. That's engineered scarcity, made to keep you desperate. They wire you for instant gratification, fast food, same-day delivery, swipe, click, repeat. Everything that you touch these days is designed to kill your patience. Because if you can't wait, you can't build. More and more people these days admit that they buy things because they're afraid of being left behind. For example, a guy who can't pay rent but buys sneakers on credit, not because he's careless, but because he doesn't want to look like he's falling behind. A single mom who knows that the bills are piling up still takes her kids out to get fast food because for those 10 minutes, she probably wants to feel normal. We all have probably at least one friend who's buried in credit card debt, still buys, the rounds at the bar because no one wants to look like they're broke. That's not weakness, that's design. The trap isn't just out there in the economy, it's in here, in your head. So you've been told to save, you've been pushed to spend, you've been chained with debt, you've been robbed by inflation. When all else fails, they get inside your head. A web so tight that whichever way you turn, save, spend, borrow, hustle, it all feeds back to the same hands. And the bitter truth is that most people live and die within this cycle. We call it normal life. We joke about being broke. We swipe the credit card. We cash paychecks. We pay the bills. We call this adulthood. But what we call normal is actually surrender. You're being told to be grateful for less while someone else grows fat off of your labor, your time, your hope. So let me leave you with this one thought. If you were born into a cage which was never meant to open, are you really living? Or are you surviving in someone else's empire.